They are all charged with felony, second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, 2 charges of official misconduct, and 1 count of official oppression.
All 5 officers, all the same counts.
All of the same counts. We are still learning that they turned themselves in this morning. We were getting words of the attorneys representing them. Those attorneys are still planning to hold a press conference this afternoon at 3:30. But District Attorney Steve Mulroy will be holding a press conference at 2 this afternoon too. We can only assume more details on these charges that have just come out.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit more now about Mulroy, with him saying murder 1 charges and the difference between murder 1 and murder 2. Murder 2 is what we have. Mulroy says that a murder 1 charge requires that beyond a reasonable belief that all right, we're going to get to that in just a little bit. I believe we have an attorney that's standing by.
Absolutely, to help us break down what the difference is really between murder 1 and murder 2, and mainly all of those charges that we have. So we have attorney Claiborne Ferguson with us, and again, we have listed those charges out on your screen right now, and we want to know all these charges that happened during this traffic stop. But can you talk about the sentencing that could come with these charges? Attorney Ferguson, do we have you?
Okay. Well, while we're waiting to get him, let's talk a little bit more about what we're expecting to find out in the coming next few weeks.
Yeah, we have a lot of information that we're still waiting to find out. So again, those details of what happened January 7th, the video of the police interaction with Tyre Nichols, that could get released really any day now. But in the meantime, the family is asking for your patience so that justice can be served for their son and their loved one. That is exactly what his mother, and that emotional video we have been hearing from her. Now, at this point, we don't know if the footage that we will see will be only the body cam footage that we know exists, or if it will be a combination of all of those videos. They did say there was several sources of videos, surveillance, sky cam in that area. This was, of course, that traffic stop near Rains and Ross Road in the Hickory Hill neighborhood of Memphis.
Yeah. And in addition, of course, we're also still waiting on the official autopsy report from the coroner's office. The family did release their own independent autopsy results, at least the preliminary findings of that, where they talked a little bit more about what happened during that January 7th traffic stop.
Yeah, they said that from that preliminary autopsy, from their private one, I should say, that Nichols died from excessive bleeding. And they said that it was consistent with what they saw in that video from excessive beating, that is what ultimately killed him. Now, of course, we do know that there are still 4 investigations going right now by several different agencies into Nichols' death. The Shelby County DA is investigating this death. There's a civil rights case with the Department of Justice. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is also looking into it. And the family, they're doing an independent investigation. The FBI also, along with the DOJ, all looking into this case.
Yeah, and I know we've been talking and focusing on the officers, but also MFD, the Memphis Fire Department, they're investigating as well for 2 of their own that were involved in the initial intake during that traffic stop after help was called. We're still waiting to learn more details from them, exactly what they have found in their search.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we are going to hear more of what we've heard from leaders throughout this week. Take a listen.
It's not just a professional failing. This is a failing of basic humanity toward another individual. This incident was heinous, reckless, and inhumane. And in the vein of transparency, when the video is released in the coming days, you will see this for yourselves.
Jay Davis, she released that video late last night. She hasn't spoken on this death since Tyre Nichols died. She's released some statements, but that was the first time. And again, you heard her call this video heinous. That is something we've heard attorneys for Nichols' family say. They've called it deplorable. Really hard to even hear them describe what they saw in that video, calling him a human pinata for more than 3 minutes. It really does kind of put the city on edge for this anticipation of this video that really could be released any day now.
It does. And the police chief's video was about 4 minutes long, where she talked about all of those things, but also the underlying thing that all of our leaders are saying right now and that they're asking for is peace.
It is,
It's
absolutely.
peace.
And they also want to keep Tyre Nichols' memory alive. You're looking at video of him. We know he loved to skateboard. You see how talented he was there. They said he was a photographer, loved taking pictures. He worked at FedEx saying that they're heartbroken over the loss. He worked with his dad. One of the things that the attorney said was every day at 7 p.m. because they worked second shift, that he would come home for dinner, lunch, because it's second shift, with his dad and eat with his parents. And that is just something that has left a hole in their hearts right now because of this traffic stop and what happened. Of course, still don't know many details of exactly what happened because we haven't seen that video. Right. But we do know that later this afternoon, there will be a press conference at 2 with the district attorney and also with the attorneys representing the officers following that one at 3:30 this afternoon.
Absolutely. Right now, we're joined by attorney Claiborne Ferguson of the Claiborne Ferguson law firm. He's going to walk us through the legal process and explaining what could happen next. Claiborne, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, I know that we just listed the charges. They include second-degree murder as well as aggravated kidnapping, aggravated assault. When we are taking a listen to those charges or looking at those charges, what kind of sentencing is coming down or could come down with those charges? We are having a bit of difficulty with that audio. Attorney Ferguson, I think you have muted yourself on your camera there. We still cannot hear. Did you take yourself off of mute? Oh, while we try to get his audio back, we are going to break down those charges for you again. Again, just about an hour ago, charges coming down for those 5 officers, fired officers from Memphis PD. Now, they are second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, and official misconduct, as well as official oppression.
Absolutely. And we've been waiting, a lot of people have been waiting to see what happens in this case, when the charges would be filed, and a little bit more about the officers too. Of course, many of them have been on the force for a couple of years, some since 2007. Desmond Mills Jr. actually serving the longest of the 5.
2017, 6 years. Now, breaking down from when they did serve, Desmond Mills had been on the force since 2017, Emmett Martin 2018, as well as Justin Smith, Demetrius Haley, and Tadarius Bean had both been there since 2020. So these are not rookies to the department. They have been there, and it did come out that they were members of the Scorpion unit for MPD. Now, I do remember that Mayor Strickland had announced the Scorpion unit not too long ago, talking about what it was supposed to do. It was supposed to clean up neighborhoods, the carjackings we've seen in Memphis, the assaults we've seen. That's what that unit was made for. All 5 were members of that unit.
Absolutely. We're still working to learn exactly what happened that day on January 7th and why members of that unit were performing that traffic stop. Definitely another question that we have for police.
Okay, we are going to try to get Attorney Claiborne Ferguson now. We think we have his audio. Again, we have been trying to break down all of these charges, what could happen with these charges, what's sentencing like. So, Claiborne, can you tell us again what sentencing would be like for some of these charges we listed? Again, second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping.
Absolutely. Are you able to hear me now? I don't think you can hear me.
Okay, we are still having some issues with the audio there. Let's talk a little bit more about the things that we know and what we do not know at this point in this case and in this investigation. Again, there's 4 of them, at least 4 investigations that are taking place right now. MPD was doing their own, MFD is doing their own, the DOJ is doing its own, the TBI, and of course we are now hearing more information from the district attorney's office about what they've learned and what they're charging these officers with.
Yeah, yesterday we heard from the DOJ. They didn't say much out of that press conference, but they did say that they were going to do a very methodical investigation into this. They said that they were going to take their time, follow the facts, and get the justice that the family of Tyre Nichols deserves. Again, breaking news this midday, all 5 officers involved in the death of Tyre Nichols, fired for the death of Tyre Nichols, now charged, all of them facing second-degree murder charges.
We're going to keep you updated as we learn more. Again, that press conference, we will be there live at 2 o'clock to hear more from the district attorney, and of course the TBI will be there with him as well. We're going to bring you that both on air and online. You can always stay with us and stay in the know by downloading our ABC 24 News app. It's free in the App Store and in Google Play.
Yeah. Join us at 2. That will be live streamed.